Hello and welcome. Welcome to today's lesson. So today we are going to be talking about circles, okay? We are going to be talking about flates. Initially, I just wanted to talk about 180-degree flay and 360-degree flay. But on a second thought, I said, okay, let's just talk about circles generally so that even if you want to cut 720 degree, you want to cut 90 degree, or whichever degree you want to cut, you will know how to go about it, okay? Because a lot of persons complain like, oh, I don't know how this was achieved. How can I cut 1440 degree flay? How can I cut 720 degree, just like that. So with this class, you will be able to tackle anything that has to do with circles, okay? All right, so the first thing we would bear in mind is the circumference of a circle. Okay, we have to first of all know the formula for the circumference of a circle. Okay, now the formula for the circumference of a circle is 2 pi r. Okay, 2 pi r. This is the formula for the circumference of a circle. 2 pi r. Okay, now from here we will now say what is pi. What is pi? So pi is a mathematical constant, okay? Is a mathematical constant and is represented with the figure 3.14. So this pi is a constant. That's the way it is. Don't ask me how did we come about 3.14. It's constant. It's a mathematical, constant. So we are not teaching mathematics here. We are teaching fraction. So just know that pi, is pi. This is the formula. Just know that pi is 3.14 is a constant. It's constant. It's just there. Okay. Now, when we talk about this radius now, radius is what we are looking for. What we are looking for. What we are looking for, that's radius. So since you already know that 2 pi r is the formula for calculating the circumference of a circle, it therefore means that if we are to look for a full circle, which is 360-degree flay, it will be 2 times this pi. And we know that pi is 3.14, isn't it? So it will now be 2 times 3.14, which will give us 6.28. So now 6.28 will be the formula for 360-degree flay. Full circle. Full circle. That is the first thing I want you to get. Full circle. Now, this 3.14 is the formula for a half circle, which is 180 degree. Okay, 180 degree. So the formula for calculating 180 degree is 3.14. But that of a full circle is 6.28. Now, since we already know that the formula for the circumference of a full circle is 2 pi r, and we know that pi is a constant, which is 3.14, and we have derived that 360 is a full circle, 180 is a half circle, and the formula for calculating a half circle is 3.14, and the one for calculating a full circle is 6.28. Now let's talk about 90 degree and 720 degree. Okay? Now when we talk about 90 degree flay, And we already know that pi is 3.14, isn't it? And pi, which is 3.14, is half a circle, which is 180 degrees. So it therefore means that 2 of 90 will give you 180 degrees, isn't it? So there are two ways you can actually calculate for 90-degree flare. The first way you will want to do it is, since you know that 2 of 90 will give you 180, you can say 2 times the waist. Whatever waist measurement you are working with, divide by this pi. Divide by 3.14. Let's say we are working with waist 27, for example. We are working with waist 27, for example. Okay? And you know that pi is 3.14, which is half a circle. And you also know that 90 is a quarter circle. So let's use that word now. 90 is a quarter circle. 180 is half a circle. So you need 2 of this quarter to make half. So you're going to say 27, which is the waist radius now, times 2. Okay? So if you say 27 times 2, that will give us 54, right? So 54 divided by 3.14, which is the formula for half a circle. That will give us 17.19. So if you are making a skirt, for example, and you want a quarter circle, which is 90 degrees, you are simply going to make 17.19 the radius. Plus, of course, you add your skirt length and everything to it. Okay? So we are going to talk about how to, when you add length, how to fold fabrics and all that. But I just want you to get the formula first in this class, okay, before we talk about how to fold when we add length and all that. So now, if you are looking for, okay, so this is the first way you can calculate for a 90-degree flare, okay? The other way you can also calculate it is, you already know that pi is constant, which is 3.14, isn't it? And now we are looking for quarter of, of this half. So all we simply need to do is divide this constant by 2. Okay? Divide the constant by 2. So that when you say 3.14 divided by 2 will give us what? 1 point what? Sorry, let me quickly punch my calculator. 3.14, it will give us 1.57. So this is the formula for calculating 90-degree flare. So if you don't want to go through this route of multiplying your waist by 2, then further dividing it by the constant, which is 3.14, you can simply just cram this formula in your head, 1.57. So that whenever you want to calculate your 90-degree flare, you just say 27. Okay, I hope you can see it. Okay, so you just say 27, which is the waist, divide by 1.57. It will give you the same answer with what we got, 17.19. It's the same thing. Either you go through this route or you take this route, whichever one. If you are able to cram this formula, it's fine and good. But if you are not able to cram this formula, you just multiply it. Multiply your waist by 2 and divide it by the constant, which is 3.14. Okay? So having done all this now, we have been able to achieve our 90-degree to be 1.57 or multiply by your waist divided by the constant, and we have been able to achieve 180 degree, which is 3.14, and we have also been able to derive 360 degree, which is 6.28. So this 90 degree is quarter circle, 1/4 quarter circle. 180 is half circle, while the 360 is a full circle. Okay, is a full circle. So these are the formulas you use when you want to calculate your 90 degree, your 180 degree, and your 360 degree flare. Just go ahead and divide whatever radius, whatever your radius is, that's what you are looking for. Is it the waist circumference? Is it the top? Whatever it is you are looking for, go ahead and divide it by this figure. Whatever you get is plus your length is what you will use to get your results. So having done this now, we've talked about 90 degree flare, we've talked about 180 degree flare, we've talked about 360 degree flare. The next thing we are going to be looking at now is 720 degree flare. A lot of persons get confused. Oh, I don't know how to calculate 720 degree flare. You see people come online and they'll be like, oh, how do I calculate this? How do I calculate this? It's just simple, just for you to understand the basics. Once you understand the basics, there is no degree of flare you will not be able to calculate. Okay, so now let's move to 720 degree flare. Let's move to 720 degree flare. Now, since we already know that the formula for 90 is 1.57, the one for 180 is 3.14, the one for 360 is 6.28. So there are two ways you can also calculate for your 720 degree. Two ways. The first one,